Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this ESS BIZTOOLS Business Advisory Services Starter Package. I hope that you're well wherever you are in Australia, and if you're in Victoria, our thoughts go out to you, and we hope that this problem that you have will be overcome in the next day or so, and hopefully it doesn't got to extend for another week. If you have any questions during the webinar, can you please put your questions onto chat and I will answer them later in the webinar. But if you're watching this webinar at a time more convenient for you and you have a question, please send me an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au. Business Advisory Services Starter Package. Why have we developed it? Well, the CommBank Market Pulse report was released about 4 weeks ago, and it indicated that 81% of the firms that the CommBank people, when they did their survey, identified as being leading firms. These firms indicated that 81% of them will be concentrating on business advisory services as their main new activity over the next 12 to 18 months. 81%. And 67% of the firms that the CommBank report referred to as lagging firms indicated that they would be introducing business advisory services over the next 12 to 18 months. They're significant figures, aren't they? As to what other firms, our peers in the accounting industry, are talking about. So ESS BIZTOOLS has been around for some time. It's been a dream of mine for many years, ever since I first went to the Financial Management Research Centre, which was in those days at the University of New England in Armidale, and met Andrew Geddes, Sam Beasley, and Jeff Meredith, who was then Dr. Jeff Meredith, now retired Professor Jeff Meredith. And they had this awareness of encouraging accountants to be able to offer a broader range of professional services. And that was back in 1982, 83, a long time ago. As some of our young accountants tell me, you might not have even been born then. So we're offering a product which will help you get started on business advisory services without spending the hundreds of hours necessary to develop material that you can stand in front of your clients and deliver. So what's the client awareness all about with all this? It's important to signify to your clients that your firm wants to offer a broader range of services, because as part of the CommBank report, they are also talking to SMEs and they're getting feedback from their banks, their branch networks all over Australia. And they're being told that the SME market is looking for more information. And the preferred group to supply that is accountants. But if accountants don't provide it, there's obviously the real chance that they will go to other people. So we've introduced this concept of client awareness by saying, first of all, you need to promote and market what you're doing. And the way we've done that is to develop the Business Plus newsletter, which is a monthly newsletter, which is an educational tool for your clients because it talks about business matters, but it's a marketing tool for you. Because I think the challenge that accountants really do have is converting in your clients' minds that the person that they've been going to for the last 2, 5, 10, 25 years as their accountant, basically to get an annual set of accounts and an income tax prepared, can now do more work for them. Now, you could have always done more work for them, but many of them don't really appreciate that. And whilst they're telling the CommBank team that they want more services, they're not quite sure where they're going to get it from. You need to undertake some marketing. So let me show you what the the Biz Plus newsletter is all about. So I've now gone to the ESS BIZTOOLS website, and this is the list of the products. There's quite a lot of products within ESS BIZTOOLS, as you can see down on the left-hand side. The material in the middle is identifying where someone is subscribed. If they subscribe for our gold package or our silver package or our business advisory starter package, which is the concept we're talking about today. And we're going to talk about some of these products and services today. So the first one I want to go to is the Business Plus newsletter. And I will bring that up for you to look at. So there, with each of our product package, there is a video explaining how it all works. And that's that one there. We're going to download the content. These newsletters are produced every month. And we're now up to edition 196, which was the May Business Plus. And you should now be able to see the Business Plus newsletter for May. You rebadge the ESS BizTools badging. We distribute this to hundreds of accountants around Australia, and that's why we're badging it, so everyone knows it's from us when it comes into them. But you put your logo and name there, and you send it to your client. Now, it's normally 4 A4 pages, and there's normally about 6 articles, and each article has a call to action, because that's what it's about. This is information for your clients, and it's a call to action from you. So this particular one here, we're starting a business. It finishes up with, if you are contemplating starting or acquiring a business, we recommend that you contact us before making any decisions on acquiring or commencing a business, so that we can assist you to establish an appropriate system for your business. We can assist. It's important you get this message across. Then we have the business health checks help. Again, material for your clients and some of your team, of course, who might not be fully aware of some of these matters. And then we have stock mix can be a problem. That's the stars, the cash cows, the problem lines, and the disasters, the stock that your clients shouldn't have, because there's very low markup and very low turnover, but people seem to end up buying it. Someone bought what they thought was a good deal, a salesman sold it to them. Monitoring productivity is important. And again, at the end of it, we've got, if you would like to discuss with us the implementation of a charge out rate to review throughout the year. This is the charge out rates for people like tradies and professional services firms. Contingency planning when preparing a business plan. And we finish by saying new financial year is only a few weeks away. If you would like to talk to us about your business plan update or the brand new business plan for 21-22, please contact us. In each case, there is a call to the client inviting them to take action by contacting their accountant. We talk about the COVID-19 special loan application. This one closes on the 30th of June. Protecting intellectual property in research and development. Why else is your client undertaking research and development unless they're going to develop intellectual property, which they must hope is going to be worth a lot of money. Therefore, they need to protect it. And thinking of expansion, are they going to go down the scaling up process? So that's the newsletter, which you send out to your clients, and then we recommend you follow up. Sit down and work out a list of which of those articles apply to which clients, and contact those clients. Accountants need to promote that you are offering business advisory services, especially for the first 2 or 3 years of offering these services. And then your clients will understand that's what you're now able to offer to them. They won't be going off to talk to one of the larger firms. They won't be going off to talk to someone else. They'll be talking to you. And they'll accept that you can do this work just as much as they've accepted over the past years that accountants can prepare annual accounts and income tax returns. That's the challenge. And I hope that that will work for you. So we're now going to go to, and I now want to take you back to the PowerPoint slide. So we've looked at the Business Plus newsletter. The next one we want to make you aware of is we have client seminars and webinars. There's 12 pre-prepared. These are the titles that I'm now bringing up on the screen. These are ready for you to use. All you got to do is badge them. I suggest you practice first to make sure you're okay with the delivery of them. And please don't just sit there or stand there and read the material that we've written. Ab lib. Tell your own war stories. Bring your clients into it. Try to get people discussing it with you, especially if you're running a seminar. It's a bit more difficult on a webinar unless people send questions in. And incidentally, if you do have any questions today that you'd like me to comment on, please send me in an update in chat and I will answer them later on. So we've got these sort of seminars, webinars, business management of the business, family businesses, buying a business, differentiate your business. This is all to get your clients in tune, because you can then offer these some services. They're not going to sit down and do this themselves. They're too busy running their business, but you've got to establish with them that you can deliver these services, setting prices and fees, key performance indicators, characteristics of a well-run business, introduction to family businesses. So that's the type of thing. So I want to now take you onto our site and share with you the material. And we're now going to client mentoring and coaching. You have videos. And here's the material that we just went through. And I think I've skipped ahead, so I'm very sorry about that, but we'll continue seeing I'm here. I'll come back and find you the characteristics of a well-run business in a moment. My apologies. We're going to go to purchasing or commencing a business. So this is client mentoring and coaching. This is part of the process of sending your client or new client some communication to convince them they've made the right decision to come to you and that you can service their requirements. So in this one, we're going to have 6 mail outs to them over a period of 6 weeks or 12 weeks if you want to, or even longer, to give them some information, because you will start with a basic outline to clients, but you can build on it. And part of that building is the education process to tell them what it's all about. So let's have a look at it. In series number 1, we're looking at checklist structures and tax issues. So what you've got on is a letter. So they get an email for you explaining what this is all about. You're going to be sending them this material. You can charge for this if you wish. Some people use this as a marketing tool. Others do charge for it. It's part of a service. But you're going to give them some of the papers that are contained within this package. And within this package of ESS BIZTOOLS, a subscriber receives access to 343 of our papers. I'm going to show you some of those a little bit later. So that's explaining to them what it's about, and they can see that. And some of the material that's contained in here, purchasing or commencing a business, a series survey. So how about we have a look at that? So the form here is the feedback form, because we want your clients to tell you what they thought of this material. Was it helpful? Was it least helpful? Because this should give you an indication of what sort of services you might be able to talk to them about. So we've sent them various papers, and I'm going to show you some of these papers a little bit later on. And we're asking what they thought of them. And then we're asking them, would they like to come and discuss in more detail what they're proposing to do, purchasing or commencing a business? And what comments or suggestions do they have? Because unashamedly, what you're trying to find out is, what are they interested in? What do they want to know? Will that help you? I hope it will, in delivering professional services. So that's how the series there on client mentoring and coaching works. I'm now going to go back to the client seminars and webinars, which is where I was supposed to go, but I clicked on the wrong button. And what I was going to bring up and show you was characteristics of a well-run business. Now, this is the seminar or webinar material. First of all, there is organizational material. There's a list of the organizational material. Now, this is similar, the organizational material, in every seminar webinar. A couple of the words might be a little bit different, but it's basically similar. And if I wanted to show you the seminar checklist, there it is on your screen now. So it's giving you a control form to take you through the entire process to be able to determine what's going to get done next. And that guides you right through. So there's one of those type of forms for each activity within the material. And then I want to now show you the characteristics of a well-run business. Now it says session 01. There's only one session in this particular seminar webinar. Some of our programs have more than one presentation. We think you should break it down over a couple of seminars or webinars. You have a paper on characteristics of a well-run business, and I might show you that later on when we look at the papers. But also there's we really want to see the slides, the PowerPoint slides. I've got to download them and save them. We're going to let's get that to work. Okay, so we've now got the PowerPoint slides. I'll take them into slideshow. So these are prepared, ready for you to use. You can place your logo on these, and you would talk to these, use these as the prompt points for you to be commenting on the characteristics of a well-run business. So you're presenting this to your clients. Why are you doing this? To convince them that you understand more than just taxation and annual account preparation, but also trying to find out who puts up their hand, who comes and talks to you, who wants to have a cup of coffee, because they're interested in you being able to undertake more of this work for them. So that's the material that we have there, which will hopefully assist you going forward. And the next area I want to talk to you about is client awareness. And we've done that one. I'm just moving on. Client mentoring and coaching modules. We did show you those before. So there's 4 modules in the system, and you've got those. The ESS BIZTOOLS papers, there's 343 papers in the system on a wide variety of products. So what you do is you badge the papers. It's a great way to promote your services, and you send them to your clients. So just let's have a look at where we can go to find those. So the papers are here. So in the middle where we've got the heading sections and papers, there's 68 sections in ESS BIZTOOLS of all sorts of material. And what you do as a subscriber, and I'm going to show you the characteristics of a well-run business, seeing we talked about it, is you go to operate, it's within operating a successful business. These are the papers within that section. We need characteristics of a well-run business. There's a list of what the components are, and we want to see the paper. There's some other forms there that you could look at your leisure. And we now have the paper characteristics of a well-run business. Incidentally, each paper has this double line across the top. The space above that is yours. You would badge that and have your address, contact details. There's always a set of contents. This one's talking about what we've identified as the 20 key characteristics. There are other characteristics papers for trades, manufacturing, and retail. This one's a more of a general paper to cover virtually every type of business. So you would place your name on top of this, you would send it or give it to a client and follow up. Always talk to the clients after you've sent this material to them, because this is also part of the promotional material. It's linked to other material within our system so that when you're looking for something, it's easy to follow it through and find it. So that is the papers within the system. And there's 343 of them that are available within this package. It's a great way to promote services that you're offering to your clients. Training your accounting team within the package, we have business advisory services training. It's 13 modules, which will help you get everyone thinking about business advisory services within your firm. We'll just have a look at that, and we will just go back into the system. We'll get out of that, and we will so I'm going into business advisory services training. We have a video, and we then have a list of the material. There's 13 modules: introduction, getting organized, offering business advisory services, team training, leadership, marketing, review of products, use of SME needs analysis, selection of products, planning. We think you should have a seminar or a webinar to launch business advisory services, how you might go about selling it. That's the promotional material, implementing it, and when one-on-one meetings with clients. You've had them go through the seminar, webinar process, then have a cup of coffee with them. And one of the key documents that I want to just show you is the SME needs analysis. So this is what's contained within a product package. We have a control form which just guides you through the process. But the one I want to show you is the SME needs analysis. So that should now be on your screen. This is a document which was based on one originally prepared by Andrew Geddes at the Financial Management Research Centre many years ago. And Geddes was recently retired after 10 years as the chair of a top 200 public company on the ASX, Green Cross Limited, which was a company that he'd originally mentored 30 odd years ago. So it's a great story, but we based this on some material that Andrew had written, and with his permission, we've expanded it over the years. But this is meant to be a discussion point with a client. You either sit down and have a cup of coffee and go through this form yourself with them, or give it to the client. Give it to them for a week. Ask them to write on it what they're interested in receiving from you, because they're going to pay the bill. So it's raising some questions. Are they happy with things? And sometimes they'll come back and say, explain benchmarking, or what should our productivity be? Or what sort of key performance indicators should we have? Are they enough? My team members tell me they don't understand them. This is all openings for you to sell additional services to your clients. Talking about debtors. How do you calculate debtors days outstanding, they might ask you. What's ours? Is it good or bad? I had someone ask me that a couple of years ago at a seminar, and when we worked it out, that was 102 days. I said, yes, it's quite high. It should be back around 30 to 40 days. Are they using digital systems to help in collecting debtors? What about cash flow management, budgets and cash flows? Marketing, you might be able to help them there in some areas. Human resources, do they need referral to an expert? And we have an arrangement with Blackstone Business Group. Customers, have they got a well-functioning CRM? Are they using it properly? Do they need some assistance? What about competitors? I've, over the years, had a number of assignments to actually monitor competitors for various clients and submit reports to a quarterly review meeting on what their competitors are up to. Interesting job you could do. What about doing some matrix type calculations? What ifs? Turnover increased by 10%. We got our margins up by 1%. And we got the frequency of visits to improve by 0.8 times or whatever. What's that going to do to the gross profit and the net profit? Corporate governance. Are your clients getting more involved in corporations? Are they getting some external directors appointed to their boards? And do they want to make sure that their skills are not going to embarrass them? So they need some tuition. You could offer them corporate governance. Government grants. It always amazes me the number of accountants that don't really know much about government grants. It's a huge industry in Australia. The accounting profession should be the key advisors to it. So talk to your clients about grants. Most of them will tell you that one of their mates got a grant and they're a bit peeved that you haven't talked to them about the same grant. So get in first. Say this is now part of your new services. Are they people that have got assets stored on someone else's property? Personal property securities register is a real problem area. I think it's quicksand for businesses. I don't like the legislation, but that doesn't make much difference. The key thing is, do your clients understand it? Are you advising them and monitoring them of what's involved? We got a full product package on it. Research and development, our newest product package. Does your client know if they want to undertake R&D, get the tax incentive? They've got to be a company, and therefore they need to be incorporated as a company as soon as they start doing research, if they're going to spend more than $20,000 in a year. In other words, are they serious? Get them set up right. So that's the key performance indicators that we are able to show you. So I'm just going to go back now, and we will continue on our. So that was the training modules. The training package, I think, will encourage your accounting team to think like they're the internal accountant for your client. Also in the package, you receive 2 one-hour training sessions if you're subscribing to our starter package. 2 1 hours with myself taking you through it. We are also implementing business advisory services implementation. Now, this is group training, so all of our subscribers are invited to this. We deliver it by Zoom, and it's going to be delivered monthly from this month, 21st of June, I think is the first session. And we're going to pick a product theme. It might be debtors, and we're going to take you through via a video and articles, and we're going to identify everything within ESS that's on that subject, debtors, so that it's at your fingertips, so that when you start talking to clients or running a seminar or a webinar with them, you've got all the material that we've produced for you on debtors readily available, whether it's in a mentoring and coaching area, whether it's in a seminar webinar that we've already produced, whether it's in one of those 343 papers, it will be there. So you can readily identify and send material to your clients. I hope that will help. And each month we're going to do a different area. Personal property securities register might be the next one. The one after that might be raising capital as an early stage innovation company. Or it might be offering chief financial officer services. Predictive accounting could also be another one. We think this will assist you to alert your clients about theme products that you're able to deliver. So over the year, we're going to do 12 of them over the year. And the next year, we'll keep on going with furthers. And these recordings and promotional kits that we're preparing are all going to be available for our members on the website. So in the members area, you'll be able to download it and look at it and run your own staff training, even if it's in a year's time. You think back and say, geez, we should have done something on debtors. We'll go back and do it now. We also have a business advisory services briefing each month. It's 30 minutes, Zoom, group presentation. So all of our subscribers are invited. And it's a bit of a open conversation. I've always got an agenda, but if you want to take over by asking questions, making suggestions, or generally discussing issues, that's okay. We record it. We record all of these public events, and we will send the recordings to all of our subscribers so they can hear what was discussed. So that's the training that we're providing. Now, how are you going to deliver services? We got the debtors management checklist, which is a series of articles to assist you to undertake a review of debtors. And we have an SME debtors systems manual, which is probably the culmination of undertaking the debtors review, because you've looked at it and you've said to your client, your debtors days outstanding is 83 days. You've got far too much money tied up in it. We think we can help you reduce it. So just let's have a look at what that means. We go back to this share and so while I'm bringing up the SME debtors manual, hopefully you can all see that now. Sorry, I missed something there, I think, but anyhow, we've now got the SME debtors systems manual on the screen. This is some of the material that's contained within this. So this is a whole series of templates. You would undertake your review of the client's debtors system, and then you can produce a manual. So I'm cheating a little bit. I'm going to download the manual now and show you. So this is a document you're going to produce basically by editing this template, and you can then introduce this as your client's debtors systems manual to help the poor person that's got the job of undertaking the debtors review. So this is the index, and then we'll get into the material itself. That gives some provision to make notes so that the person that's got this responsibility has a proper written system. Instead of hand-me-down notes and stickers all over a computer or their desk, it's been handed down to them by the previous person. Now, our proposal is that each year you would then do a review of this to make sure that the system's working properly. Obviously, during the year, you would have reviewed debtors days outstanding. In particular, looking at this personal property securities register, is there any alarm bells there? Should the client be really looking at registering? And if so, the person undertaking this task needs to understand the time limits in which documentation must be signed by the customer and returned so that a decision can be made as to whether to register that client on the Personal Property Securities Register. And the system goes on. So that's the SME Debtors Systems Manual. Within our system, we also have a Tradies charge-out rate calculator to determine whether they should be able to earn their targeted profit. So we'll have a quick look at that. And I'll just get back out of this previous one. And we're going to go into the industry-specific advisory. Now, this has charge-out rates calculators for tradies and manufacturers and also professionals, and setting retail prices calculator looking at the product mix and the markups for retailers. And then there's some health check calculations for 5 industries. We just want to look at the charge-out rates for trades at this stage. So I'm clicking on that. And that's the material. And I want the calculator. So we're going to click on the calculator. And we shall give you a quick run through on this. This is the badging of it. There's forms to assist in the calculation of labour on cost. And you have got 6 forms for full-time people, depending on their classifications, in particular, what sort of leave and other benefits they get. And if they're not exactly the same, you prepare someone else in that one or that one. And we've got material for permanent full-time, and then part-time employees, and then casual. So that's all there. The system then transfers that basic information that you've put in. You have to insert the names of the people, the number of individuals, the salaries that you're paying. The system does the rest of the calculations, and the productivity percentage that your client is expecting to receive from these people. It's then transacts the part-time employees separately, and then it transacts the casual employees separately and determines the total cost. It will calculate the overall business productivity. You can then insert the return on investment. It might be based on an investment in the business, 500,000. The required return is 20%, so you're after $100,000. You then need to insert the budgeted overhead expenses for the business. We then want to look at the budgeted materials. You know, what's the markup that the client believes that they're going to place on anything being purchased in for their customers. If there's going to be a write-down, you can insert that. So the system will then calculate what the sale from labour should be, together with the net profit and the overhead expenses. We then go through a calculation on base time cost, which the system does, and also the overhead factor is calculated. And the system will then calculate the charge out rates for each of those people. And we then get the proof. So the system is going to calculate the classification, the hourly charge out rate, how many hours, so what's the targeted income and how does that compare to what we've already established, and the budgeted profitability will then be summarized. So it's a very slick exercise that you can undertake with your client to check their charge out rates. One of our subscribers has indicated to us that he does about 200 of these calculations a year, 200 tradies, sitting down, reviewing their charge out rates. He then prepares quarterly accounts for them to compare how they're going and make some recommendations to the change in the charge out rates. So he's picking up an extra $2,000 to $3,000 per annum over and above the annual accounts and tax return by doing that work. How many tradies have you got? If you're wanting to get started in business advisory services, this is a great area. I was talking to a lady the other day who told me that she'd just been on Facebook about an hour and a half before I spoke to her, and someone there was saying they were a tradie and they didn't know how to calculate their charge out rates. When she saw this, she said, I'm going to go back and tell her that I'll be a subscriber to this product later this week and I'll be able to take her through that process. Could you do the same thing for your clients? There's also long service leave calculations which get fed into the on-cost calculation. So that's that area. I think you should be able to use that to assist you in the advice to your tradie clients. Now, we have similar material for professional service firms. It's basically the same, except there's no markup calculation on external purchases. We have a retail pricing calculator, which enables an analysis of the products that are being purchased. So we might just have a look at that. It's obviously a bit different to okay, I'm just going to see if I can bring that up. I'm having trouble bringing that one up. I don't know why, but I will just go back here. No. My apologies for that. If anyone wants to see the tradies, the retail calculation, please contact me. We have business health checks for 5 business groups. We have a product package on helping evaluate surviving in difficult times. And we have, I jumped ahead. Okay, your investment in all this. Our normal price for this product, the starter package, is $219 per month for 12 months, or an upfront discounted price of $2,100, which is a saving of 20%. But we have a special price for you today, up until the 30th of June. The monthly payment is only $197.10 per month for 12 months, or an upfront discount price of $1,890. So $1,890, including GST. Both of these figures include GST, and you can get started on this product. And we'll be running your first 1 hour familiarization mentoring session in the next couple of weeks. So why not? Get started now so you have a bit of practice time, training time in the month of June, so you can really be offering these services to your clients. There is a money back guarantee. If you, after 60 days, you're not satisfied, contact us and we'll give you your money back. Now, if you're interested in subscribing now today, all you need to do is to go on to www.essbiztools.com.au and click on subscribe to Business Advisory Services Starter Package. And then the subscription forms are there. So go onto our website, please, www.essbiztools.com.au, and then click on subscribe to Business Advisory Services Starter Package. You obviously are most welcome to have a good look around our website in our visitors area by just going to the website, www.essbiztools.com.au. Or if you've got any other questions, please send me an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au, or telephone me on 1-800-232-088. Thank you for being with us today. If any of you do want to see the display of the retail package, please send me an email and I'll organise something for you. I think the poor old system got a bit overloaded there with all that material getting brought up, and I just couldn't get onto it there today. But it's there, it works, and many of our subscribers are successfully using it to evaluate with their retail clients an ideal mixture of products and markups when factored in with the overhead expenses to achieve their targeted profit. And then they monitor it every month, because that's important. As they used doing this at the beginning of the year and forgetting about it for another 12 months, it then needs to be monitored. And this is accounting services in action. This is what you would be doing if you were employed full-time working for your clients in their businesses. I've been there. I was the CFO of a listed public company, and the tax return and the annual accounts, well, they were a 3-week wonder. When I think about it, the rest of the time was costing, looking at trends, answering what-if questions from the CEO and other members of the leadership team, and trying to help them direct a better business. I think that's your role also for your clients, that you're able to offer these outstanding services to. If you're interested in any of our other products, whether it's research and development, chief financial officer services, the capital raising opportunities in early stage innovation companies, or crowdsource funding equity raising companies, please contact us. We have product packages for each of those services. Have a great day. Thanks for being with us. Goodbye.